welcome to another Tea Break Coach. Now before you start, I'm not going for a walk, I'm actually heading for a swim in the sea and a sauna with the gorgeous people at Steam and Soul on Long Sands Beach. And there's my cup that's coming with me. Yes, I am one of those slightly mad women who goes in the sea in the winter. Now, you might have seen my last post about events conspiring against me and how that can make you feel really cross. So if you've not seen it, go and have a look at this postcard because it explains why we behave irrationally when our sense of certainty gets taken away. Now, as you watch this, I'm actually on holiday. I wanted to record a couple of videos in advance so that the momentum of Tea Break Coach kept going. Now, as you can see, the weather's not improved. If anything, it's got worse. And don't even ask about the salt on the windows. But it is what it is. And actually, it gives me a brilliant opportunity to talk to you about scarf. So this piece of neuroscience genuinely changed my life. It's got its own chapter in the book, and I learnt about it about 10, 15 years ago when I first became a coach, and a neuroscientist came to talk to us at Henley Business School. So the model is David Rock's, and I can't recommend strongly enough that you read him at source. He wrote Quiet Leadership and the brilliantly accessible Your Brain at Work. And what David Rock talks about with the SCARF model is the modern triggers that trigger your Paleolithic threat response. Now, last time I talked about certainty. I wanted to record a video in the sunshine. That opportunity was taken away from me and it made me feel irrationally cross. What SCARF helps us to understand are the other threats we come across every day that trigger that ancient threat response. The one that makes you want to fight, flight, freeze or appease. So fight, is where you get cross. Flight is where you disappear and want to escape. Freeze, you do nothing, stay in bed, procrastinate. Appease, you say, yeah, it's fine, when it absolutely isn't. So what are the SCARF triggers? Well, first of all, status. Someone threatens your position in the pecking order, and that triggers that response. Now, that could be like being criticised in a meeting when you think you're the expert. Certainty we talked about last time. You think something is going to happen and then it isn't. A meeting moves or somebody behaves unexpectedly. Autonomy. This one's really useful if you've offered to help someone and they've gone, no thanks, and been quite sharp. You might just have threatened their autonomy. They thought they were in charge of something and suddenly they're not. Relatedness. This is where we think someone gets us and then they say or do something that shows they don't quite get us. Now, this can hit hardest with people closest to us. I remember really heated, unhelpful arguments with my friends about Brexit because we both assumed the other person would think the way we did. And finally, fairness, a huge trigger, especially complex for leaders because fairness is subjective. For some reason, it's 50-50. For other people, it's does it feel fair? So all these are modern triggers that trigger our Paleolithic threat response. And the reason I decided to do this, if you can't hide it, feature it today, is to tell you about SCARF. Because going into the freezing sea triggers that exact same threat response. When you step into that water, especially the North Sea in February, up here near Newcastle, part of your brain genuinely thinks you might die. That threat response fires up. But when you slow your breathing, stay with it, and realise you're not going to die, and you live to fight another day, you get a massive rush of endorphins. You feel incredible. And suddenly, the other threats that come at you for the rest of the day don't feel quite so insurmountable after all. Because you've dealt with nearly dying as far as the subconscious part of your brain is concerned. So I hope to see you soon, and let's hope the weather has brightened up by then. But in the meantime, look into threat and SCARF. Take care.